Then any question?
How to transform painting, making music and so on into Dharma? Thank you.
How to transform the music and the painting into what? What kind of Dharma?
Holy Dharma.
I didn't mention yesterday, but I think I should have to mention again today, emphasize very strongly there. Very important, then we know how to live life. Then you have much more freedom, depending on what your happiness, what you're looking for, then you create the cause of that. First of all, general understanding. First of all, first understanding. Generally, to live the life with a good heart, that's the first thing, that's the first decision about your life, about our life. Or to live with good heart. So then, you see, when you do music, when you're painting, anything becomes a benefit to others when you do good heart, when you do with a good heart. That's the first thing we have to live our life. That's the most important thing. I want to say that, I want to emphasize that first. So not only music, painting, anything. Not only meditation, doing prayers, eating, walking, sitting, sleeping, doing job, many hours, sleeping. So see, need to do all this with a good heart. the self-cherishing thoughts only for your happiness. That is, I see. That even the tigers have, even the mosquitoes have, even the bugs, lice. I mean, it is tiny insects. They have the thought, self-cherishing thought to work for obtaining happiness for yourself. They have also. So nothing higher, nothing special motivation for the human being. As we received human body, as I mentioned yesterday, the brain, or well, in the West, we use the language brain, but however, I said compassion rises from here, not brain. Loving kindness rises here, patience rises here, anger rises here, negative anger, attachment comes from here, not from brain. So that is also a big question. So anyway, what do I say? I'm forgetting while I'm talking. Let's say, what do I say? So we received human body, which we can use our brain or our mind, up to produce happiness, future lives, all the coming future lives, happiness. But while it's something, then ultimate happiness, which is not that you're suffering, or the blissful state, peace for oneself, then our mind can can produce. Then peerless happiness, enlightenment. You see, so the human being, this not only you, but numberless sentient beings, you can cause this, all this happiness to numberless helpings, numberless hunger, numberless human beings, numberless spirit, numberless not only this universe, but numberless universe. You can see, you can develop our mind, cause bring all this happiness to a numberless sentient. What human being can do, but positive way. Lama, what can do. Amazing. So even this world, so many millions of people, like it's only that. Like San Francisco, like so many million people bring happiness to what can do. The animal can't, mosquito can't, tiger can't. You see, you understand? You see? So, therefore, that's not enough motivation to be human being. Working for ourselves, working happiness for oneself. Even the insect has. Mosquitoes have. They want to suck blood for their happiness. So what? They all have. There's nothing special. We have a human body. But the motivation system, that's very poor. That's very poor. Nothing special from the insects. Very poor. Terribly poor. So therefore, you see, should live the life with good heart. If possible, no harm to the sentient beings. Any sentient being, not only friend, not only stranger, even the enemy. In these three include all sentient beings. Then of the benefit. All the sentient beings, if possible. To all the sentient beings, that's the best. But even that not possible, but as much as you can. Human beings, down to the insects. Not harm. Oh, there's the insects. You walk over ants, or you just walk, talk. You walk over. Not that. Don't think it's like garbage. Don't think that. They also think their life is, they regard their life is so important, like you think yourself. Same thing also, they think they're so important. So, you see, I think it's so important, their life. Cherish their life so much. So, like you cherish your life. So, same thing. So, Kasuri. You see, somebody cherish you, somebody help you, that makes you so happy. Even unknown person, not only by known person, unknown person, even animals help you. You see? Help you. It makes you so happy. So, by thinking that, you should help others. No, help others. Human beings, even insects. Like that. Follow that as much as you can. Even you can't think all sentient beings, 6 levels sentient beings. So, see, in our daily life, as much as possible, so benefit. So, see, and one thing, you see, when you do with a good heart, when you help others, when you benefit others, you see, one action fulfills two purposes. When you help others, it fulfills your purpose. And it fulfills others' purpose. It brings happiness to you, brings happiness to others. One action brings both happiness. Happiness to you, happiness to others. You see? Human beings down to the insects. So anyone can help. So it brings two purposes. You see, it makes you so happy. It makes you so happy. So you see, it's not only bringing, satisfaction or happiness, contentment or satisfaction, but it's fulfillment. When you help others, when you work for others, it brings fulfillment worthwhile your life. So it brings true success. One action brings true success. Happiness to you, happiness to others. Oh, it has that benefit. When you live your life in that way, with a good heart, helping others, cherishing others, caring others, so you are happy all the time, you feel free, and you're happy all the time now, in the future, even when you're dying, you feel much happiness. So because you help many people, many sentient beings, so much happiness. There is nothing to be scared or if you do something wrong with the self-cherishing thought, then of course that's a lot of fear at the time of death especially. So with a good heart, there's so much happiness. Then not only that, then this becomes the preparation in the next lives, even this life, the latter years, more good heart, able to help others more as a result of your mind developing your good heart. So, as in the future, more and more years, your mind gets developed, your good heart developed, so you're able to benefit more and more sentiments in the future. This life, future of this life. Then next lives, then unbelievable benefit. Unbelievable benefit, and so all your wishes can succeed. Unbelievable. Even what you didn't expect, even what you don't know, what you didn't expect, it happens to you. Success. Even that you didn't know, didn't expect expectation, it happened to you. Great success. Next lives. Greater and greater, then you go to enlightenment. All like that, you see, unbelievable. So everything, happiness of oneself, everything that happens by the way, while you're working for others. That's, you see. So, you see, okay now. You see now, person who has a good heart, everybody like that person. Whether you live alone, whether you live in city, in village, east, west, anywhere. Everybody like that person, want to see that person. Everybody want to help that person. You see, always like this. Everybody praises that person, talks good. Everybody praises that person. You see, like that. So even the animals, person who is very kind, even the animals they like. They want to be near that person, like that. So anyway, you see, wherever that good-hearted person, wherever he goes, other people want to come. They want to travel together. They want to go together. Wherever the other people want to be there. So you see, they all want to speak to him. You know, they enjoy. It's like that. So brings happiness. Not only brings happiness to you in your life, but brings happiness to many people. So many people in the world. You see, as you're more known, so many people in the world, they're happy with you. It brings happiness to so many people, and even with animals. Wow. So like that, you see. So now, the person who is very angry, very bad-tempered, very angry, or then everybody is scared. Even the person live alone, then you see so much anger and so bad temper and so selfish, and anyway the person goes. The people are afraid. The people don't want to see. Even the road, when the person is coming this way, the other people who know that this person is coming this way, the angry person, the selfish, very selfish, egotistic, very selfish, coming this way. Then other people, they see, they go this way. You know, they take another road. They go other way. You see, it's like that. They want to see. They don't want to talk to that person. They don't look at the person. Then you see a good-hearted person. You see, if something happens, and many others, they want to pray. They want to pray for that person to free from disease or whatever problems, then to happen good things. Many people want to pray. Then the bad-hearted, very selfish mind. Wherever you go, that was problem. East, west, in the city, in outside the mountains, wherever you go, then create many enemies. Everywhere you go, create many, so emotional, so much emotional mind, the angry, why? Everywhere you're so selfish, and then you cheat others, to get happiness for you, then power. Then you get angry, then so you create so many enemies wherever you go. You see, like that. Then people, if something bad thing, if you died, a bad thing happened, died, then people they rejoice. They rejoice, if he died. He died, good. He died, she died, good. They rejoice. Okay, so now the final thing, painting and what? Music, okay? Positive, very first important motivation, important. The purpose of my life is not just to achieve happiness for myself, not at all. Purpose of my life is to benefit to others, to free the other sentient beings from suffering, oceans, and bring them to enlightenment by myself. Therefore, I must achieve enlightenment. Therefore, I'm going to do this painting. Therefore, I'm going to play this music. Think that. First think that. That's most important. Then your painting, your playing music become cause for enlightenment. Cause for enlightenment for sentient being. You understand? Cause for enlightenment for sentient being. Numberless sentient being. For everyone. Okay. Then is music. recite this mantra, Om Pamo Ushini Shebema Lumbe, 7 times. Then you blow over the machine, over the music, whatever it is, guitar or whatever it is, you blow over that, the recite. Then when you play, animals, normal people, the sound of music is a bell, for example, reaches very far. It was outside festival. I mean, the forest animals, they hear gongs or bells after the recite mantra. Besides people, they hear. So all those, so far everybody hear. They all get benefit. The benefit is the most important. It purifies heavy negative karma, very heavy negative karma, killed father, mother, arahat, harmed, caused blood Buddha, disunity Amadasa, very heavy negative karma, without break, immediately go to get reborn in the lowest hotel, and there length of life is 1 eon, 1 intimate eon. Then you didn't finish, even this whole ends, you get born another universal hell into your karma finish. So the heaviest suffering in the hell. So so purifies all that karma. Not only people, animals, anybody who can hear the sound of the music. Like that. So I told in the Bhattacharya Center, when they ring the gong, people gather, must recite this all the time, must recite 7 times, then ring the gong, blow. Then so much benefit to the people, to the animals, birds in the forest. So I was telling them to then while you're ringing gong, not wrong, ding, 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 then finish. Not like that. You do slowly, because when you rejoice at the same time, what benefit everyone get? What do you get benefit? So I was, I don't know, it's a direct idea, we're going to write notice. So then you pray. May anybody who hears the music never ever get it upon Lord back. And may it become healing all the disease. People, may it become healing all the disease and spiritual harm, negative karma, purifying defilements, clarity from beginning to birth. May it purify, and may it cause the generative bodhicitta in their life. May they achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. If you do that, maybe you play music, you do all this. They got to recite the prayers, mantras. Also painting, you see, painting, may anybody, any sentient being who sees this painting, anyone sentiment who sees this painting, may they never ever get reborn Lord. Most unbearable, they don't know. Most unbearable. So the cancer, this problem, that problem, this problem, there's nothing. It's great peace, happiness, come back to the road of suffering. So may they never get reborn Lord. And then think may they be healed all the disease and the spirit harms, then purify all the negative harm, also cleared from beginners. And then you think, general bodhicitta, general bodhicitta, and realize the emptiness by seeing this, this painting, and then may they achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. So then you can think, anybody who sees this painting may generate bodhicitta and stop harming to all the sentient beings, and the only benefit, bring happiness to numberless individuals. So we can pray on that. Okay? Oh. Huh? Do you understand? Huh? Okay. So we stop here. Okay, so I didn't finish anything. So, but I think essence you got. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, Chancho Majewana Jeju Jeva Nyaba. Kone Kondo Abewara Aishu. Tonye Tawar Mbacha Majewana Jeju Jeva Nyaba. Kone Kondo Abewara Aishu. Sarakondo Jawa Tongawe Tejoshi Nyemozo Jenga Bela Tanti Nyela Keje Tayan Doba Maju. Keje Tayan Doba Maju Ji Mejo Nanda Tame Tinanda La Jenja Te Cheve Yata Chege Jigen Nanju Lo Sanjave Tandan Jawa Lama Tungava being the mind, voice, in all the lifetimes, never spirit from pure Dharma at my road. Then the church Lama Tunga teaching this very lifetime. Bandela me number Tabala, Kaja, Tayan, Lodami, Jinja Lever, Muguja, Lame, Jilla, Samlan, Juba. Please, we dedicate the world. You do the past, the best of which I married to glory with the right to glory with them, listen to me, and Buddhas. May the wars that happen now to happen in the future to be stopped immediately, or the disease and all the famines, all the dangers of fire, water, all that to be stopped immediately, and may the perfect peace have global problems also maybe to stop immediately, and perfect peace happiness may prevail in the one's heart by general loving kindness and compassion, bodhicitta, may the Dharma last long time, may be present and all the 10 directions, and may the sentient meet with Dharma and the Jivan enlightenment as well. Then the cause may I fulfill the wishes of all sentient beings, more than which I am free. May I fulfill the hopes of all sentient beings, more than which I am free. Before the wish come true, this one wish come true. All like that. Did all the past, the best which I made to collect my thread, I made to collect by numberless and they may numberless Buddhas. Which exist but do not exist from its own side. Did that may I who exist my name, so do not exist from its own side. It's a enlightenment, I think that was that. Which do not exist from its own side. Exist but do not exist from its side. Lead all the sentient beings who exist mere name, so do not exist from its own side. to that Buddhahood, which is its mere name, so do not exist at all from its own side. Dharma alone who exists in mere name, so do not exist from its own side. Jamal Baya Cheta Jambato Kunda Sambo Tiyan De Jinde Teta Kunje Chetan Talo Jinge Wa Dida Tan Chira Tunga Udan Shebe Jawa Tam Je Junga Wa Kanla Chutunga Wa Yeta Hege Wa Tawa Tinja Sambo Chira Tunga Wa Chiji Jabo Tonga Wa Chutuna Mabewa Da Kiji Sama Chiwa Da Tunya Manglu Sama Dada Shinye To Sunda Dewe Tunya La Tenin Jawa Lo San Traba Ye Tamba Yurin Ba Joji What I explained is the same Nima Kaju Saja Kilu, all same. As I mentioned, it's the Lota Namshi Shambashit Lamzu Namsu. So that's the making short or elaborate words, Krishna Dharma is all same. So this is the very reality. This is the very reality. You see, whatever trip, Pombo or whatever other trips, whatever you do, other things, the world has so many things, and whatever you do. But this, what I explained today, that's Nyingma Kajju Satyakilu, all same. That's the reality. Whatever the different things to do in the world, but you see, if you don't think this, if you think something else, not follow this, is something else. There may be thousands of religions, but you see, this is what I said. Very basic Buddhism. What I said, if you don't give up, if you careless, or if you don't think that, maybe something else, blah, 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 blah. So like a trip, like eating food from different restaurants. You see, however, it cheats oneself. Nobody cheats you, but if you cheat yourself, it becomes like that. But you see, This basic things, as I said, yes, yeah. Oh, that's a very, very important knowledge, basic knowledge, very important to the life. This one time you got human birth, so to come to know this, very important, even though there are thousands of, millions of things in the world, you get that you can do, that you can take many trips, and so this is how I want to express this. What is the most important in the life? Oh, that you have to. What is the most important? Or that what is the most important beneficial for sentient being? Oh, that you do. Oh, that is bodhicitta. What's the most beneficial for sentient being? Oh, that bodhicitta. The Buddhas checked for eons what is most beneficial for sentient being. Then they only discovered the bodhicitta. Oh, then that. See, okay. Oh, so I stop. Yeah. Thank you very much.